Hello everyone. Today's topic is LVM. Who is beginner into the Linux administrator or those people want to learn the Linux? The main important part of the Linux is LVM. What is the use of LVM? First, we called LVM as a logical volume manager. What is the use of LVM? Why we use LVM into the Linux system? LVM is a disk management system used into the Linux. It helps us to manage disk storage in a flexible and easy way. With the help of LVM, we can manage a disk storage with flexible and easy way. So, how we can manage the disk into the Linux system through the LVM? With LVM, physical hard disks are combined and converted into logical value. These logical volumes can be created, increase, or reduce without stopping the server, which means no downtime. So, how we use the LVM? In LVM, we use the physical hard disk. There is a no magic into the LVM. Why? Because LVM also required some kind of storage. So that kind of storage come from your physical hard disk, your external storage. External storage means your SAN, your NAS. So with the help of you can create the LVM. So there is nothing any magical movement or magical steps to configure the LVM. For LVM, we required physical hard disks. So those physical hard disks we combine together into the one volume group, and with the help of that volume group we create a one logical value. So why we create a logical values? Because with the help of that logical value we can create a new logical value, increase or reduce that logical value without stopping the servers. Means there is a no time downtime. Earlier, disks were divided into fixed partition. So, after create a logical value, we need to format that volume into particular file system. If you don't know what is a file system, you can refer my previous video. So you will get an idea what is a file system, what type of file system preferred into Linux environment. So for LVM, most of people preferred ext4 file system, but in nowadays people are using XFS file system also. So what is the difference between ext4 and XFS file system? Here I tell you the main difference between ext4 and XFS file system while using LVM. In LVM, when we use ext4 file system, so we can easily reduce our LVM disk size with the help of ext4 file system. In XFS, we can't reduce our file system with LVM. Why? Because this is a standard file system. So in that standard file system, there are some limitations. What one limitation? We saw one limitation, that is in XFS file system, we cannot reduce LVM. They, this is the main difference between ext4 and XFS file system while using LVM. So, if any partition become full, increasing the size was difficult and risky, and sometimes the server had to be stopped. Means, suppose you're not using the LVM and your file system getting full, means any kind of file system, that is your slash data or your logs. So without using LVM, your file system getting full. So there is no way to increase that file system. What is the possibility to reduce that file system? There is a one possibility to reduce the file system, that is you have to do the housekeeping of that file system. What is the meaning of that housekeeping? See, those people who are new or who are beginner to learn the Linux, that people should aware that the word housekeeping. Housekeeping means you can do regularly backup your log files or any unnecessary file systems or any unnecessary logs you have to move to another partition. That is called housekeeping. Means in simple word, anybody knows you are doing housekeeping. Housekeeping means you can do clean or neat to your place. That is your housekeeping. So like that, file system is your place, and inside that whatever you store, so you have to do the housekeeping of that whatever stuff you are stored inside that file system. So to resolve this issue, LVM comes to the picture. LVM solve this problem by combining multiple physical disks into one storage pool called a volume group. To resolve this issue, LVM come to the picture. Why? Because that physical hard disk converted into one storage pool, means that is VG group. So that we called a volume group. From this volume group, we can create a logical volume as needed and resize them anytime. Means to resolve this issue, LVM come to the picture. And how LVM resolve this issue? That physical hard disks, whatever n number of physical hard disks you have in your server, so that physical hard disk converted into one volume group. And what that volume group do, that volume group create one logical volume as need for your convenience and resize them anytime. So after create a volume group, we have some advantage and disadvantage of LVM. Advantage of LVM is, first one, flexible disk management. Means with LVM we can easily increase or decrease disk size anytime. Second, online disk expansion. we can extend logical volume without stopping the server, which means no downtime. So this is the main important feature of LVM, means when you want to increase your disk size with LVM, so there is no need to downtime of your server. So this is belong to your DR or your production, your dev server. So there is no matter. So no downtime is required to extend the logical value. Third, multiple disks as a one. LVM allow us to combine multiple physical disks into a volume group. So this is another one feature of LVM. What LVM allows a combine multiple physical hard disks, means whatever hard disks do you present into your server, that physical hard disks combine together and create a one volume group. Fourth, better storage utilization. Free space from all disks is pulled together and used efficiently, means whatever physical hard disks do you have, so we create a one volume group. Okay, so in that volume group we get a free space to all disks and we pull together and use efficiently for better storage and utilization. Snapshot feature. LVM supports snapshot which are useful for backup and recovery. So there is another more important feature is backup and recovery. For that we use snapshot feature. 6. Best for production servers. Because of flexibility and reliability, LVM is widely used in enterprise environment. So, if you ask to any experienced people what is LVM, so they can explain you how widely LVM used into the production environment. So, or if you search any LVM related video or documents, there also you can find more useful information related to LVM. So this is the basic understanding how LVM works, what is the advantage of LVM. Now, after advantage of LVM, there are some disadvantages. LVM 1, complex for beginner. See, if you are a beginner into the Linux environment, so it's little complex for you to configure the LVM. LVM is more complicated than normal disk partition. Risk of data loss means wrong command, especially during disk reduction, can cause a data loss. So basically, in LVM environment, we cannot reduce the disk size. Why? Because we have to suffer the data loss. So 99 percentage in production environment, nobody reduce the LVM file system. Third, slight performance overhead. Since LVM added an extra layer, performance can be slightly affected. Of course, when you are using LVM feature, so that LVM feature is an extra layer over the OS. So slightly you can face the performance can be degraded or slightly affected to the application. Fourth, difficulty recovery. If LVM metadata gets corrupted, recovery is more difficult. Any reason of LVM data is corrupted, so there is little difficult to recover that data. Means in production environment, if you are facing this kind of issues, so the recovery of this is little difficult. Fifth, no needed for small system. Means if you are working into small organization, so there is no required LVM on such environment. See, in simple term, LVM makes disk management easy, safe, and flexible. How it's work behind, so you can see first physical hard disk, then volume group, then logical volume, and that logical volume formatted with ext4 or xfs file system, then that formatted file system mounted into one file system. So here you can see that LVM diagram. So as I mentioned, you have n number of physical hard disks. In our case, the my three physical hard disks is present here, that is slash dev SDB, SDC and SDD. So for that physical volume combined together, and I am create one volume group. So that volume group I give the name VG underscore data. After that, create a volume group. I create a one logical volume with the help of that volume group. So after create a logical volume, I have formatted that volume with specific file system, that is ext4, ext4 and xfs file system. Then that file system mounted on one directory, whichever you want, that directory name slash data or any other name. So these are the basic overview of LVM, how LVM works, what are the advantage and disadvantage of LVM. I hope if you like my video, please share and subscribe, and do comment what kind of issues do you face to create on LVM. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye bye.